I've seriously had Madonna stuck in my head for the past, like, 6 hours, just nonstop. It's just been a Madonna mix in my head all day long, and you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm pretty cool with it. Let's see, we got some folks in the chat. You got a grill, I'll bring the steaks. Jack in the shop. Hello, and welcome to the stream. Paranorm Girl podcast. Hello, as always, our incredible friend. And for everybody else that's showing up to the chat, awkwardly gothy. Hello. We always love to see y'all here. Thank you so much for popping in. D-Booze is currently being haunted by a little microphone gnome. All right. And that microphone gnome is repeating everything I say back to me about 2 seconds later. So his microphone's going to be muted on and off because I am too ADHD to hear myself constantly. I'll go fucking insane. Um, I'm already dealing with Madonna in my head. I can't have myself in my head too, right? That's just fucking too much. Well, let me see. Let me get these stories pulled up here. We'll give just a second too for folks to pop into the chat. And also, if y'all get a chance, we want to encourage this. We're doing something new. I guess it's the fourth or fifth episode. D-Booze, I'll let you speak again. um, fourth or fifth episode. We're trying to get folks to submit odd news stories, crazy things, weird shit that they come across during the week. We're doing this as a weekly show. It's a mix up of different hosts from Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman. And we're going to be popping up on different platforms. Lord only knows where we're going to be because we sure as hell don't. So if y'all see anything over the course of the week or just whenever the hell you see something crazy and you'd like us to kind of dig in or bring it up to other folks, shoot it our way. Beer, Booze, Boogeyman at Instagram, at TikTok, uh, Gmail. That's pretty much the only places we'll see it. But Instagram and TikTok, safe places. Just forward the article. You don't even have to say shit, and we'll give you a shout out on the show and a thanks.
Absolutely.
All right. Just a moment here. Did I do that thing I wasn't supposed to do? I totally did that thing I wasn't supposed to do with the script. All right. Welcome, everyone, to Paranormal Happy Hour, a weekly random mix up of recent strange news, sightings, spooks, and show hosts. My name is Gil, co host of the Black Cat Report podcast, and with me here this evening from RKB Paranormal and Life Beyond 6 Feet, the heart and soul behind Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman, Damien.
Good evening, everyone. I am here.
He exists, he's real. Well, to start off with, I'd like to give a quick note about Paranormal Happy Hour. This is a new segment, a new set of streams that we're attempting to do here at Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman. Some will be planned, some will be spontaneous. There'll be different mixes of hosts from Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman that'll be going in and taking over the leads, and live streaming on chats like on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and wherever else we can plug in and update you on the bizarre and the paranormal. Now, as for the best way to keep up with this madness, all you have to do is subscribe to Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman, the YouTube channel, where you're probably watching this right now. Or follow us on your favorite social media platform at Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman. Now, with that out of the way, if you're joining us right now, do us a favor, do everyone a favor, hop into the live chat and tell us what you think as we cover odd news, UFO updates, cryptid sightings, and the paranormal. Now, to kick this all off, we're going to begin with odd news, and specifically the case of the levitating llama in Bolivia. It's about to get fucking weird, y'all. In the remote Andean highlands of Bolivia, a llama named Comet became the subject of global fascination after being reportedly seen levitating several feet above the ground for approximately 30 seconds before gently descending. This baffling incident, which occurred on July 22nd, 2025, near the village of Ayachocho has since garnered widespread attention through numerous viral videos. Local farmer, Senor Hernandez, expressed his bewilderment at the inexplicable event. Scientists from La Paz University are actively investigating potential causes, including rare atmospheric anomalies or unusual electromagnetic activity. The compelling nature of the video Apologies. The compelling nature of the videos, coupled with the absence of obvious signs of manipulation, has led researchers to consider natural, albeit highly unusual, explanations. This event has not only captivated global audiences, but has also sparked renewed interest in the region's enigmatic folklore, where such phenomena might find a place within existing traditional narratives. This occurrence demonstrates how a visually striking, inexplicable event can immediately resonate with and reinforce pre existing cultural narratives. The scientific community seeks rational explanations, but the public and local communities embracing of the mystery highlights how modern unexplained phenomenon are often spontaneously integrated into and amplified by traditional beliefs and myths. The event thus becomes a contemporary manifestation of ancient wonder, underscoring that even in an era dominated by scientific inquiry and digital dissemination, human perception of the bizarre is profoundly shaped by cultural heritage. And with that note, I am going to flee the studio for just a moment while D-Booz distracts everyone so that I can get a light and I can actually read the damn script that I wrote. Give me just a moment. D-Booz, you take it away, bud.
Yeah, so well, while Gil is gone, I do want to just make a little announcement. Do have some kind of exciting personal news. This coming Tuesday, I'm going to be interviewed for a paranormal television show called Haunted Discoveries about an investigation I did a couple of years back. They're doing an episode there, and they reached out to me to see if I'd be interested in being interviewed for the episode about my experiences there. And so I'm going to be doing that here in a few days. I'm going up to Paducah, Kentucky to do this at the location that we investigated at. It's the Hotel Metropolitan. If you haven't checked out the almost 2 hour documentary we put together of this investigation, check out RKB Paranormal on YouTube. It's on there. It's like I said, almost 2 hours, and I'll be doing that interview here in a few days. And the episode, don't know when it'll be out, but when it has an air date, I will be announcing that. So pretty excited to do that. Gilbert is back.
Yes, I am back. I have light. I can see again. See what we have in the chat. No, I'm not gonna lie. A levitating llama. My first assumption was like a Buddhist llama. Dear Lord, I was wrong. No, they're talking about an actual goddamn llama that was just recorded levitating. With all that said, especially with this having just come out, pain in the ass to find the actual videos that are being referred to here. So if anybody can find the video, please post it up in the chat. I want to see this.
I tried. I couldn't find anything, man.
Yeah. Hello, Princess D-Booz. All right. Now, this next one, there's a lot of really good stories that we have lined up for y'all today. This next one might be one of my favorite stories that we've ever covered here on Paranormal Happy Hour. Um, it's, and that's a close call. I mean, the missing lake in Patagonia was pretty damn awesome, but this changes everything. This changes the world. Next up, we have the emergence of singing cucumbers in England. That's right. July 2025. July 2025 marked the unexpected appearance of singing cucumbers on a small farm in rural England. These seemingly ordinary vegetables were observed producing distinct albeit slightly off-key vocalizations described as a mixture of humming and high-pitched whines. Everybody in the chat, what's the first song that you think that they heard? Well, this phenomenon quickly went viral, with similar reports subsequently surfacing from farms across Europe and North America. Experts, including plant biologists from the Royal Botanic Gardens, are currently struggling to explain this unprecedented biological anomaly. Investigations are underway into a possible previously unknown symbiotic relationship between a species or between a specific species of bacteria and the cucumber plant, which might be responsible for the unusual sounds. Despite the scientific uncertainty surrounding their origin, the bizarre musicality of these cucumbers has unexpectedly inspired a new musical genre, aptly named, and I'm going to butcher this, cucurberatious crooners. Can we just stick to cucumber crooners? Um, well, these artists are already incorporating the cucumber's unique sounds into their compositions, showcasing a remarkable adaptation of human creativity to the inexplicable. This direct cause and effect relationship illustrates how a biological oddity, despite its mysterious origins, can immediately translate into a unique form of human cultural expression. The bizarre has become an unexpected muse. This phenomenon highlights humanity's remarkable capacity for adaptability and creativity in response to the inexplicable, demonstrating that the strange can inspire as much as it can confound. Y'all, singing cucumbers was not at all on my bingo card for 2025. Jesus Christ. Like
Like,
I feel like we survived the GMO era, like the genetically modified food era, and like this wouldn't even be taking effect in England. But you know, I feel like if there's gonna be singing cucumbers, it's gonna come from these mutant ass like veggies that we have coming out of the US, not in Europe. Like, I don't know about
how is
these
it? How
heirloom
did it even
traditionalist crooners.
happen?
What's that?
That's I said that's just completely bizarre. Like, could you imagine going out to your garden and trying to figure out what the hell that noise is, just to realize that your fucking cucumbers in the ground?
Oh, I I've done too many substances, which some places they're registered as non-legal. I honestly, I just wouldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't say a goddamn thing. I would just assume that all these those years of experimenting, those decades of experimenting finally caught up to me, and I wouldn't say a damn thing. Like, nope, that's not a thing. I'm not hearing that. But I will tell you, if we can get it exported, I know exactly what the fuck I'm growing next year, and I know exactly what I'm planting in all of my enemies' yards. I am going to plant singing cucumbers in the yards of all of my enemies. Hello, Mr. Yes, Mr. President Trump. I brought you these heirloom seeds. And he just won't stop singing all night long. I'm going in. President Trump might be losing his mind and just like get him kicked out of office. I have a whole conspiracy. Shit, I shouldn't have said that on air. Anyways, you'll just look crazy if you tell anyone. Crooning cukes. I think that might be my favorite. Mary had a little lamb. Just- we are so close to Little Shop of Horrors becoming real, and I'm here for it. Now, this next story, y'all. Cats have always hated cucumbers, and now cats have always hated cucumbers, and now that much more. It's true. Cats knew the truth. They were like, "You guys can't hear them, but they are horrible at fucking singing, and they won't shut the hell up." Evil cucumbers. All right, y'all. This next one that we have here is quite the heist and quite the hijinks. It is a squirrel's unexpected heist. Nuts about gold in Oregon, USA. In Oak Haven, Oregon, a resourceful eastern gray squirrel nicknamed Goldie has been implicated in a series of gold jewelry thefts from homes, with incidents beginning in July 10th, 2025. Small gold items, including earrings, necklaces, and other precious trinkets, have mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind tiny, perfectly gnawed through jewelry boxes. Police initially dismissed the reports as pranks, attributing them to more conventional explanations. However, their stance changed after accumulating eyewitness accounts of the squirrel carrying unusually heavy objects and consistent discovery of where was I? Discovery of distinctive gnawed boxes. Zoologists are reportedly baffled by Goldie's unusual dexterity and apparent planning, which suggests a level of intentionality beyond typical squirrel behavior. The Oak Haven Police Department has now resorted to employing a team of specially trained squirrel whisperers, in quotes, in an attempt to apprehend Goldie. Goldie is still on the loose. Goldie is a goddamn menace and a savior to every pawn shop in Oak Haven, Oregon. Um, to apprehend Goldie and recover the stolen gold. The local jeweler, jeweler, a victim of the thefts, has even offered a unique reward, a year's supply of high quality acorns for Goldie's safe return and the retrieval of the stolen goods. This incident challenges conventional understandings of animal cognition. The systemic nature of the thefts, the squirrel's ability to handle heavy objects, and the parent planning go beyond simple instinctual foraging, suggesting a peculiar attraction to non nutritive objects like gold. This blurs the line between typical animal behavior and what one might consider criminality. Such incidences, while often treated with lighthearted amusement, subtly push the boundaries of our understanding of animal intelligence and adaptability within human dominated environments. They prompt questions about how animal behavior can mimic or interact with human societal constructs in unexpected and bizarre ways, suggesting that Animal Kingdom holds more cognitive surprises than often assumed. That's right. We've got singing cucumbers, levitating llamas, and now a squirrel jewelry thief. And I am so here for it this week, you guys. I
Could you
think
just
this is
imagine seeing that squirrel just trotting along wearing some gold hoop earrings and a little
just
gold
the
necklace?
bling, dude. Just four tiny, like, fucking Air Jordans just walking. I am so here for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of squirrels stash nuts for the winter. This one's stashing gold for retirement. Like it, I have a feel. I have a feeling it just got stuck in the back of like a semi trailer, listening to AM radio, where she's like, "Buy cash for gold now. Cash, gold, gold, gold is the investment. The economy is gonna crash." And the squirrel just slowly fucking went insane, just being brainwashed. If a squirrel pops up soon that's stealing silver, we'll know for a fact it heard too many AM radio commercials at like 3 a.m. I'm guarantee you. This also I would chalk up as something that will only happen in the United States. Any other country in the world? No, 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 no. This is a U.S. born squirrel, God bred squirrel. I'm so here for it.
That's amazing.
It's absolutely incredible, and it goes to show how much
Mm.
this kind of shit just goes on constantly, week to week to week to week, all the time. You know. Well, this next one I'm very very excited about, y'all. Um, and it kind of I didn't have time to pull the clip. Joey actually on our cryptids and like myths, kind of our conspiracy episode, right? Joey had to take a shot because we had a caller that called in claiming to have seen this particular cryptid while out ATVing with a friend. I believe it was in Sedona, Arizona, if memory serves me. It was somewhere out in the
Yeah, it was somewhere in
Southwest.
Arizona.
Yeah. And she claimed to see this exact cryptid that we're about to cover. I didn't believe in him. Joey totally did. And you know what? Joey, bud, you're 100% right. So we're drinking to you now, sir. Rabbits with horns, dubbed Frankenstein bunnies in Colorado, USA. On August 14th, today, news surfaced from Fort Collins, Colorado, detailing sightings of rabbits exhibiting grotesque horn like growths. Viral photos of these affected cottontails quickly spread across social media, leading to unsettling nicknames such as Frankenstein bunnies, demon rabbits, and zombie rabbits. Scientists have confirmed that these rabbits are infected with Shopi papillomavirus, a relatively common and mostly harmless virus that causes wart like growths. This virus holds a unique place in history, as it is widely believed to have inspired the centuries old jackalope myth in North America, a legendary creature depicted as a rabbit with antlers or horns. Furthermore, the study of this virus in rabbits significantly contributed to early cancer research, particularly in understanding the connection between viruses and cancer, such as the human papillomavirus, HPV. The growths typically disappear as the rabbit's immune system successfully fights off the infection. This case provides a compelling example of how a seemingly inexplicable natural phenomenon, the horned rabbits, can serve as the direct, tangible origin for a long standing mythological creature. It offers a scientific bridge between folklore and biological reality, effectively demystifying a cryptid. This demonstrates how scientific understanding can illuminate the origins of what was once considered supernatural or cryptid, offering a rational basis for seemingly impossible observations. And I would like to push back a tiny bit on that synopsis there, in the sense that I feel like most folks who are interested in cryptids um, aren't always coming at it from a strong mythological framework or even a supernatural framework, so much as a there is a scientific backing, there is something behind it. And this just kind of goes to show that people were right. Jackalopes are real. I don't know.
When I saw that article a couple of days ago, like just the way they look, because there's actual pictures of them, like
Yeah.
it's really strange, but it's also kind of sad in a way, just to see
Yeah.
an animal kind of dealing with that. And I don't know, I thought it was wild when I saw that, and I was like, we got to touch on this because that's I've never seen that before.
Yeah. No, it's definitely some like strange growths. It's definitely sad, but I could see easily. I could see extreme cases of it where it would look like large horns, right? Or especially if it was, it mentions in the article that a lot of these are younger rabbits, and then as they age, their body's able to fight off this infection and they kind of get over it, right? So I could see that if you saw little stumps looking like horns on a younger rabbit, you would assume when the rabbit gets older, it would have larger horns, right? So it tracks. Yeah, and Joey, you were right, bud. Rick and Morty episode. Yes, donut. Next up, Ukrainian cat becomes viral hero. Knows way to bomb shelter better than most humans. On August 14th, today, a heartwarming and unusual story emerged from Ukraine where a cat gained viral fame for its remarkable ability to navigate to a bomb shelter with greater efficiency than most humans. This feline's uncanny sense of direction and urgency in times of danger quickly captured the attention of the public worldwide. The cat's consistent and swift movements towards safety during air raid alerts has been documented and shared widely, turning it into a symbol of resilience and an unexpected guide in a conflict zone. The phenomenon highlights the extraordinary instincts of animals, particularly in adapting to and responding to extreme environmental stressors. The story, while seemingly lighthearted, reflects a deeper human tendency to find comfort and even heroism in the unexpected behaviors of animals during times of crisis. It illustrates how animals, through their unique adaptations and instincts, can become integral, albeit unwitting, participants in human narratives of survival and coping, offering a peculiar form of emotional support and fascination amidst adversity. On top of that, this cat's just trying to get the hell out of being bombed, and so I think it's just running as fast as possible. But, like Donut just said, cheers to cats, always, always and forever. Paranorm Girl podcast. Okay, now do Bigfoot scientists. Exactly. Next up, we have just from a few days ago, hairless bulldog Petunia, crowned world's ugliest dog. On August 12th, 2025, a hairless bulldog named Petunia achieved an unusual form of global recognition by being crowned the world's ugliest dog. This annual competition, which celebrates dogs with unique and unconventional appearances, brought Petunia into the international spotlight. Along with the prestigious title, Petunia and her owner were awarded prizes of Rs for Lacken. Who the fuck knows what that is? Apparently, this does. It's $4,800 USD. The event, while humorous, underscores a broader cultural phenomenon, the celebration of perceived imperfections and the redefinition of beauty. Petunia's victory highlights a shift in a public appreciation from conventional aesthetics to a recognition of individuality and the charm in the unconventional. It's an ugly ass dog. I don't know. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I thought it was a
Poor
cute
little
dog. It was
puppers.
one of those things
That
that's
poor
so.
little puppers. What's that?
I said it's one of those deals where it's so ugly it's cute.
Hmm. That is an ugly dog. Oh wait, that's Reba McEntire. Hold on one second. There was a pop-up on the screen. This is coming at us from the New York Post. I am not responsible for these pop-ups. Or Reba McEntire appearing on the screen. The dog's not that ugly. Okay, it's pretty ugly. Poor puppers. And just like poor shit, where'd it go? This poor dog. It's just like this is not the recognition I wanted. Poor little guy. Petunia. Aw. God damn it. Reba McEntire messing everything up. Um, no, the second I got on that New York Post article, it was just like Reba McEntire. Just like, oh god, oh god. Who the hell is paying that thing? Oh, never mind. Um, that's right. It has a winning personality. I don't know if I want to cover the lightning story. Let's just hop into this next one. Deboos, I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
Let's roll.
This might be something. Yeah. Did drunk apes help us evolve? See, I'm helping evolution right now. New clues reveal why we digest alcohol so well. On August 1st, 2025, groundbreaking research emerged suggesting a peculiar link between ape behavior and human evolution, specifically our capacity to digest alcohol efficiently. Scientists discovered that African apes regularly engage in, this sounds like it should be censored, scrumping, eating overripe fermented fruit. And this behavior might have played a significant role in why humans can handle alcohol so well. The study introduces a fascinating perspective on human evolutionary biology, positing that our ancestors' exposure to naturally fermented fruits and the subsequent development of enzymes to process alcohol could have been a critical adaptive advantage. The research challenges previous assumptions about the origins of human alcohol metabolism, suggesting a more ancient and environmentally driven pathway. This finding reshapes our understanding of evolutionary pressures and the unexpected ways in which environmental factors and animal behaviors can shape human psychological traits over millennia. It highlights how seemingly bizarre animal behaviors can hold profound implications for understanding human evolution, suggesting a deeper, more intertwined history with our primate relatives than previously fully appreciated. The discovery prompts a reevaluation of the subtle yet impactful environmental influences that guide our species' development. So basically, what they're saying is a bunch of monkeys got drunk and now we're here. D-Boos, how do you feel about that?
When you put it that way, I mean, I don't know who they're saying digest alcohol really well, but I don't. Because depending on what it is, it's coming up like as soon as it goes down, depending on what I'm drinking and if I've eaten a lot. But, I
Mhm.
mean, if we supposedly came from monkeys, I mean, I can kind of see, I can kind of see the connection. This is one of those
Yeah.
things we may never know, though.
Well, I mean, I for one, coming from strong German heritage, feel like my family must have scrumped a lot. They were really into scrumping. They were scrumping all the damn time. Scrumping and the other word that rhymes is scrumping. But
Now,
yes.
they could test
Mhm.
this theory by giving some actual monkeys now some alcohol and to see how they react to it.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they were saying is that there's currently they're seeing apes um that scrump, right? Scrump if you scrump if you crunk. Um but but
It's
currently
going
they
to be a
see
new
apes doing
B3
this, and
show.
this is interesting too because I think I was talking to Laura who's in the chat. I was talking to her a while back about this. I've had this dream. I've always wanted to go. I want to say it's in the Pacific Northwest. There's a few towns that exist up there where every year in the I want to say in the springtime, a bunch of these berries get ripe on trees and they get overly ripe and the berries begin to ferment as they're hanging on the trees, right? So the berries become uh, they start to contain trace amounts of alcohol, and you have this mass migration of birds that come into these towns, and all these birds start eating fermented berries. And so for a few days to like a week straight, there are hundreds of thousands of drunk birds smashing into everything in this town. Just birds falling on the street, bird orgies in the sewers, just fucking just crazy. It is a week straight of St. Patrick's Day, but for birds. And I, for one, need to see this phenomenon before I die. I just this sounds like the funniest. This is that's some high level. That's like birds gone wild. Like that is the Mardi Gras of bird watching, in my opinion. You've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen birds like this before. Woo! Whoa! I'm here for it. I don't know.
That's uh that's some good stuff.
Would that be Lent or would that be Lint? How would birds take that? I don't know. Anyways, moving on. 4,000-year-old teeth reveal the earliest human high, hidden in plaque. A remarkable archaeological discovery was announced on August 1st, 2025, as scientists revealed the oldest direct evidence of betel nut chewing in Southeast Asia by analyzing 4,000-year-old dental plaque from a burial site in Thailand. Researchers uncovered microscopic residues that confirmed the ancient practice. This breakthrough method of analyzing dental plaque provides an unprecedented window into the dietary and cultural habits of ancient populations, offering tangible proof of early psychoactive substance use. And yes, I know it's properly pronounced betel nut, but we're moving on. The discovery challenges previous timelines and assumptions about the widespread consumption of stimulants in human history. This finding profoundly alters our understanding of ancient human cultural practices and their engagement with psychoactive substances. The presence of betel nut residue in such ancient dental plaque indicates a sophisticated understanding and utilization of local flora for non-nutritives like recreational or ritualistic purposes far earlier than previously documented. This demonstrates how meticulous scientific analysis of seemingly mundane biological remnants can unlock significant cultural and historical secrets, revealing complex behaviors that shape ancient societies. It underscores the power of interdisciplinary research to reconstruct the nuanced tapestry of human history. Now, for the, I guess, shit at this point, for the 1/3 of the world that's unfamiliar with betel nut or betel nut, it is a large, for those that are here in North America, picture walnuts, right? Or in regions where I guess walnuts grow, which would pretty much just be North American parts, few parts of Europe. Anyways, picture like a walnut. you you can take them dried. You can take them fresh, although I don't know many people that take them fresh. You get a little bit of lime, which can come from seashells or the actual stone itself that kind of acts like a base, and it helps unlock these alkaloids that are in the betel nut or in the betel nut. And you mix a little bit of this powder in. It could come from burnt seashells into the betel nut. You generally wrap it in a betel nut leaf, although you don't have to. And they sell over the counter mixtures of this, kind of like they would chewing tobacco. Um, and it gets you high as shit for a little while. It's a very light amphetamine, almost like high. Um, it's very common throughout Thailand and also in a lot of uh, Middle Eastern countries or Middle Eastern populations, but mostly in the South Pacific where these trees grow. I mean, if you could get a drug off Debo's, if you could get a stimulant that was about as 10 times stronger than caffeine off of fucking walnut trees in your neighborhood, how often would you be taking that stimulant? You- I'm just being real with you. And we're talking about, thousands at 4,000 years ago plus, right? Because this practice was already understood at 4,000 years. And there is a bit of a chemistry behind getting these things to activate. So there was a history before this. That's kind of what the article was implying. If you could get something that was like a 5-hour energy drink off of a walnut in a tree in your yard, you'd be popping that shit all the time. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I would just hope it works because none of those energy drinks do anything for me.
Well, let me tell you, as somebody who has never officially taken them within the United States, they work. All right. And that unofficially can be found if you know what you're looking for, just Google it. Inside of most Asian supermarkets, check the freezer section. Allegedly. Supposedly. Don't do it all the time. Um, be safe, y'all. Have fun. Bird shots. Peacocks. Forget about it. Yeah, they do. They make Battelle boxes. They also sell like the I'm gonna butcher this. The pangyang. You can get the packets of it, although those generally kind of suck. To be honest, hit up an Asian market, hit up an Asian supermarket. Don't be sus. All right, don't be sus. But do your research ahead of time and just buy it with a wink and a nod. Mm. Have fun, y'all. And no, that's not why I'm sweating. I'm sweating because it's 90 degrees in my studio. Nobody said anything, but I feel like it looks like I'm on beetle nut right now. Well, no, wait. The lightning flashes, I'm gonna skip over the lightning stories. The lightning stories aren't entertaining to me. I don't know. It's a big lightning strike. There's a few
Well,
stories about some crazy lightning strikes that happen, y'all. I think they're lame. I'd like to move
if
on.
you, if you want to take a breather for a minute, I do want to touch on something.
You got it, bud.
Because I know you've been chatting it up here this whole time. I'm sure a lot of people have seen the headline, and Gil, I kind of want to get your thoughts on it because I don't think we've really discussed it in our group chat. We just shared an article and was like, "What the fuck?" So, comedian Matt Rife has purchased Ed and Lorraine Warren's home and their occult museum, which houses over like 730 supposedly haunted objects, including the Annabelle doll. Now, of course, they don't own the objects. He just said that like they're the legal guardians of the objects for like the next like 5 or 6 years. And essentially, from what I could gather, they're pretty much going to turn this into like Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum. You can go there, you can pay admission to go in, you can pay admission to investigate the house, stay the night there. And he's also apparently been trying to buy the Conjuring house for the last few months. I just read that a couple of days ago. Him and this same guy that bought the Warrens house, they've been trying to purchase the Conjuring house as well. Now, most people, I don't even think really knew he was into the paranormal. Like I did because I've seen him on Ghost Adventures a couple of times, even though that show's pretty much turned into bullshit. But I still watch it for entertainment purposes. And like he takes it serious, but he tries to joke during it too. And it's like that you can't do that the entire time. So I was just kind of wondering, like, what are your thoughts on a comedian buying a supposedly haunted location and haunted objects, and what do you think going to become of this?
All right, get ready for some shit. My honest to God opinion, buddy. And I have thought about these things before. Comedians are the most accessible philosophers of every generation. That's my honest to God opinion. There is something that is incredible about a a comedian's ability to connect so far deep to a truth without intentionally saying these are my beliefs, these are this, these are that. They show a situation that everybody understands and can relate to in some way, either firsthand or secondhand, and then get you to laugh about it. And it could be something that's incredibly controversial, right? It could be something that makes everybody uncomfortable acknowledging, accepting, thinking about whatever. But a true comedian, a true honest to God great comedian, I'm thinking in terms of like somebody like Dave Chappelle or George Carlin or Richard Pryor, right? An incredible comedian has the ability to just cut through the bullshit of everybody's politics and what they're told and what we're taught to believe and everybody's religion and what they're told and what they're taught to believe and get them to die laughing, admitting to something. And the second people laugh, that is a honest to God admission that what the comedian just said is true. So I don't have a negative view of a comedian going out and buying something that is paranormal for a topic that I absolutely love and adore. Subject to category, whatever. I think that having somebody who has that ability within their wheelhouse to kind of connect to people past all of the biases and the bullshit could open up doors to a different way of society accepting these types of subjects and these topics. It's gonna be different. Okay, are we gatekeeping shit, or are we just gonna be like the Amish and be like, okay, we're just gonna stop at 1801 and not let anything go past this decade? No, 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 no. We need to keep pushing it forward. We can't be asking for society to accept these fringe topics and interests, and for science to look into it, and then gatekeeping the approach. What kind of bullshit is that? That hasn't gotten us anywhere. It's just gotten us to a point where we complain and constantly try to reach out. We're going to be uncomfortable with these things as they go forward. All that said, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but I am excited about the idea of a different approach. So, there's my answer, bud.
I mean, he definitely make a valid point. I just hope he takes it seriously. Like whether this stuff is actually haunted, the items are actually haunted. I hope for the paranormal community as a whole, he takes it serious and isn't just trying to make an extra dollar or two because God forbid he needs it. You know, he's a fucking millionaire. But it's like I hope he takes it serious. That's my only concern. I hope he doesn't make it into like a big, constant joke.
Okay. Well, to push back, if the items, if the house, if the possessions and things are haunted, he's going to have to own up to that and take it seriously. And if they're not, make fun of it, dude. Maybe it is bullshit.
I mean, there has been a ton of stuff about the Warrens, about how they were scam artists and they were this and they were that. Nobody
Yes.
really knows. I mean, you didn't really hear about any of this stuff until after they were both gone. So it's like, eh. But
You didn't
if
really hear
even,
about Jesus until he was gone either. But
but even if like one object in there is actually haunted, like I hope he just takes it serious. That's like my main thing. Like, what does
yeah.
he know what he's really getting himself into? If this is actually legitly like possessed items, it's not
Yeah.
like, you know, oh, I've got a few hundred artifacts. Let's play with them. Like, I don't know. If he winds up dead in a few months, you know that the shit was real. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Uh Pimpin' Ain't Dead Ho said that is suspicious. I would love to hear from the folks that are watching right now. We know we got 8 of y'all mother fluffers that are in the chat. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this? What do you think about a well-known comedian buying up a bunch of paranormal properties? I, for one, am excited about um I'm excited about it. I don't think that the reputation in the ghost hunting community, um, this is gonna sound bad. I don't think it can get worse. Hear me out. You know as well as I know that from clairvoyance or from folks that are leading seances or from dude, the paranormal community throughout all of recorded, at least recorded European history, which is what I'm most familiar with, has always been ripe with charlatans, with snake oil salesmen, with fakers, with hoaxes, when hasn't this shit been going on? This is what you kind of come up against when you play with the fringe, right? You start like trying to define the fray of something. It's always been ripe with these types of folks. Um, is a comedian gonna influence that on a social scale compared to major hoaxes that have taken place? No, not at all. At least that's my opinion on it. Is like that's what happens when you fuck with the fringe, right? Um, something I would like to see, and these are my dark thoughts. These are my very dark thoughts right here. Um, I would like to see him try to make it a joke, and then it makes him a joke. But that's some real dark shit. That's yeah, I'm gonna feel guilty for saying that later.
Yeah, like I said, if he winds up seriously injured or worse, you're gonna be like, shit, maybe I shouldn't have said that, Gil. Way to go, man. But
Paranormal
no,
Girls said, I think people are allowed to have multiple interests. I'm not for it or against it. I have no special adherence or adoration. Oop, lost the spot. Adoration for the Warners or their way of doing things. Paranormal Girl laying it down. I'm curious though. What were you saying, D-Boost?
I forgot.
Hell yeah. Moving
But,
on.
yeah, but no,
We are getting now. You
I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and if it's
did I
legit
disappoint?
and it's not like an outrageous price, I mean, it would be a place I'd be interested in going to.
Yeah.
Because I know for a while, up until I think a couple of years ago, the museum portion was actually open to the public, and
Damn.
I think they shut it down a couple of years ago for whatever
Mm.
reason. And but yeah, it could get interesting. And if it actually is able to purchase the Conjuring house, he can't be any worse than the current owner because he's like batshit crazy.
Somebody who's buying a notoriously possessed household is not sane.
Hey,
I don't know. I don't know, D-Booze.
I mean, she fired one of her employees because she said a ghost from the 1600s told her he was stealing out of the cash register.
Was he?
There's a camera above her cash register, but she never put the video out there for anybody to see. Anyway, carry on, sir.
She did. I almost made a bad jab there. I'm gonna hold back. I just realized I can put my mic like this. 90% of all live streams that I'm in are just a process of me figuring out how I can adjust my microphone. I need to buy a silent drone that just kind of follows my mouth around. Science, get on this. Make it happen. This is where the card meme comes in, or the card meme comes in, where he just says, make it so. Let's see. All right, y'all. We are moving on. And D-Booth, thank you so much for leading us into this next section here. We're moving into the paranormal here today. We are mixing up our flow because I didn't organize these news articles. The next story that we're moving on to is going to fall into our paranormal category. It is Ghost Month in Asia. I don't know if I agree with that title. Asia is a fucking continent, but we're going to move through that. Cultural anticipation of spiritual activity. News reports within the July 30th to August 14th, 2025 timeframe highlighted the upcoming observation of the Ghost Month in East and Southeast Asian countries. Well, the main Ghost Festival falls on September 6th, 2025. We need to mark that on our calendars. We need to bring this tradition over. Let's appropriate these apparitions. Where was I? Cultural anticipation and participation for this period. When the Ghost Gate opens, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the Vietnamese in front of me. We're already be discussing. This month is traditionally believed to be a time when ghosts and spirits, including those of deceased ancestors, are permitted to roam the earth. The cultural significance of Ghost Month involves various observations, such as preparing ritualistic food offerings, burning incense, and burning joss paper. I probably butchered that, for visiting spirits. It is a period distinct from ancestor worship festivals like King Ming, as it extends respect to all deceased, including younger generations. Lotus shaped lanterns are lit and set afloat in rivers to guide lost souls, and live performances are held with the first row of seats intentionally left empty for the spectral audience. This cultural phenomenon, deeply rooted in Buddhist and Taoist traditions, illustrates a profound societal engagement with the concept of the paranormal. This widespread adherence to these customs, even in modern times, reflects a collective belief system that actively incorporates and acknowledges the spirit world. The news coverage of this anticipation, rather than a specific event, reveals how cultural frameworks shape the perception and interaction with the unseen. This demonstrates that for many cultures, paranormal is not merely a series of isolated incidents, but an integral, cyclical aspect of their worldview, influencing daily life and community practices. It emphasizes the enduring power of tradition to frame and engage within the mysterious, offering a lens through which societies interpret and coexist with the spectral realm. And I, for one, fucking love that. Like, we need some shit like that over here on our end of the pond. I'm just gonna say that. I know we have Los Dia de los Muertos, like in here in North America. We've got that. We have Day of the Dead, multi-day celebration, or you could just take it on November 1st. It's up to you. That's an important day for me, and coming from the family that like I was personally like adopted into as a youth, as a child into a Mexican family. Los Dia de los Muertos is like very important to me. I know, especially after a couple years ago with the passing of my own father, it's a day for me where it's like I go out, I intentionally buy my father's like favorite beer or my father's favorite drinks. I have a collection of his cigars, and I will go out at night and ring in the beginning of Los Dia de los Muertos with like opening up a beer for him, opening up a beer for me, setting a cigar down for him, having a cigar myself, smoking and talking to him, and just like having an honest conversation with my father who's passed. I am agnostic on a good day, atheist on most days, but the actual ritual itself is incredibly it's incredibly rewarding, and I think that it's very important to do, and I think that it does ground us, regardless of our spiritual or our religious beliefs or anything like that. Whatever the fuck you think happens when you die, it's very important to remember there is a past, and at some point you are going to be the past. Like it or not, baby, it's gonna fucking happen. And I think that it's an important ceremony to kind of do and to kind of not necessarily have those releases, but have those connections. D-Booz, what do you think, bud?
I mean, it's definitely interesting, and I'm all for a ghost month. I think we need to start a petition and get it going. And just let people just kind of just do it in their own kind of way. Like even just like what
Yeah,
you were talking about, that's a really cool thing to do. And just kind of let people celebrate kind of in their own way. It's like, why can't we have a ghost month? We have all these other months and days over here that, some of them seem kind of pointless and some of them are, they make sense, but it's like,
Flag Day.
right. It's like, like why not? Why can't we have a ghost month? I think we need to get online and start a petition and get this shit going, man.
Fuck yeah, I think we already are. Pimpaday Dead Ho coming in strong. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Of course, and I share that. Not in any kind of like pity or empathy or like, oh, this is me in my personal life. It's sad, sad, sad. No, we've all had people that we love pass. Yeah, who the fuck hasn't, right? Um, it's just a good practice. I'd recommend it, 100%. Do it. Fucking do it. Just go out, get something that is special to whoever you're thinking about, or collectively the folks that you're thinking about. Take a fucking moment. Get shit faced drunk in the middle of the night, which is you and your memories of that person. I'm not even joking right now. Just get shit faced drunk. Let it all fucking out. Take a moment, disconnect from reality, and talk to those folks. There's a reason why their memories cut so deep, you know? And give that shit a moment. For real. And it could be a cat, could be a dog, could be a fucking iguana, a parrot, it could be your grandma, your aunt. It doesn't fucking matter. Like spend a moment with those memories, because I, for one, would like to think that I will, by the time I pass, have impacted folks in a similar way where my loss would mean something to them, right? And I think this is how shit starts. But yeah.
I mean, I've done that once or twice before. Since Keith has passed away, I've went to the cemetery with a
Oh
couple
yeah.
of beers and just sat down and drank and just chatted and talked about life and
Fuck yeah.
been on my merry way after 20, 30 minutes and yeah.
Fuck yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Well, moving on. Mysterious space spiral identified as rocket fuel dump. On August 12th, 2025, a ghostly white spiral pinwheeled across the sky, visible to people in a dozen U.S. states and at least one Canadian province. Initial reports and viral images sparked widespread speculation about unidentified flying objects or other unexplained phenomenon. However, subsequent analysis quickly identified the mysterious spiral as a rocket fuel dump. Two rocket launches occurred shortly before the sighting. An Ariane 6 heavy lift rocket from French Guiana carrying a European weather satellite, and a Vulcan Centaur. Where the fuck do they come up with these names? Centaur from Cape Canaveral within with U.S. military satellites. Orbital elements for the METOP, I probably mispronounced, SG-A satellite carried by the Ariane 6 almost perfectly matched the spiral's trajectory, confirming its origin. This event serves as a compelling example of how initially unexplained aerial phenomenon can be rapidly identified through scientific and observational data. The public's initial assumption of something, quote, unidentified or, quote, alien highlights a common cognitive bias towards extraordinary explanations when faced with unfamiliar visual stimuli. The swift, science based clarification of the spiral's origin demonstrates the importance of rigorous investigation in distinguishing between truly anomalous events and those with conventional, albeit less common, explanations. This underscores the dynamic interplay between public perception, technological advancements, both in space and observation, and the scientific process in demystifying phenomenon that initially appear to defy understanding. Basically, we already knew the answer. Collectively, individually, we were freaking the fuck out. Now, we have an intense 2 week heat wave in a place that I can't pronounce. Fenoskadit. All right, I'm just going to type it out and put it on the screen. For the love of God, somebody phonetically write this out for me here. Okay. It I fucking some crazy Scandinavian shit. Let's see here. We got how many N's are in here? Um CANDIAN. Wait, countries? Venos Canadian. Oh, I can pronounce it. Okay, I should have kept reading. That Fennoscanadian. That is the literal first time in my life I've ever read that word. Um, Jesus Christ. Throw that up there again. I want that on a shirt. Fuck it, we're just making up words here today. Well, from mid-July to August 14th, 2025, the Fennoscanadian countries of Norway, Sweden, and Finland experienced an intense and unusually prolonged heat wave with temperatures repeatedly exceeding 30 degrees Celsius. Now, for everybody else in the world that understands temperatures the way it's supposed to be interpreted, I'm pretty sure that's 1 million degrees Fahrenheit. This duration was unprecedented for the region, with some areas experiencing temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius. Why didn't I convert this to Fahrenheit? For 26 consecutive days, something hitherto unknown this far north in Europe. If somebody knows the math on that, look that up. I'm moving on to the next story. Fuck that shit. We don't care about your heat waves. It's probably like 20 degrees or something. Y'all are fine. You're fine. Are you looking it up, D-Boos? All right, D-Boos, come at us later. Is anybody still in the chat? People are
It's
still here.
86 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not a heat wave.
It's fucking 86 in my studio. Y'all chill out. Y'all, they're God, there's man. Sometimes you look at your heritage and you're just like, glad my glad my ancestors scrumped. That's all. All right. Skies ablaze, unidentified anomalous phenomenon, and potential alien encounters. July 30th, 2025, a Harvard physicist generated considerable discussion in academic circles by suggesting that an interstellar object originating from outside our solar system could potentially be an alien probe. I know exactly who the scientist is. The physicist characterized the object as, quote, very peculiar, implying characteristics that defy conventional astronomical expectations. The assertion from a reputable academic institution represents a notable shift in the mainstream scientific discourse surrounding UAPs and potential extraterrestrial intelligence. The mere suggestion, even as a hypothesis, from such a source lends a degree of credibility to discussions that were once largely confined to fringe theories. The implication is that certain observed phenomenon, particularly those exhibiting unusual trajectories or compositions, warrant serious consideration as potential non human technology. This development signifies a growing openness within segments of pardon me, of the scientific community to entertain unconventional explanations for anomalous celestial objects. It suggests that as observational technologies improve and more data are on interstellar objects become available, the boundaries of what is considered plausible in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence are expanding, pushing scientific inquiry into realms previously considered speculative. This is Dr. Avi Loeb. Dr. Avi Loeb made absolute headlines, groundbreaking headlines in terms of it was in the 20s or in the 2000s. We had this object called Oumuamua, or it was titled Oumuamua. It was one of the first, if not the first, if I'm recalling correctly, interstellar. So not coming from the Milky Way, right? So you see, we've all seen that thing where it's like, this is the Milky Way. This is you, and it's like a tiny little fucking speck of like where Earth is, because the Milky Way is a collection of a bunch of galaxies, right? Or yeah, galaxies. Um, anyways, Avi Loeb, Harvard astrophysicist, he tracked this interstellar object. He recorded it where he's like, this didn't come from the Milky Way. This came from this came from that shit that's like way, 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 way the fuck out there. And it was kind of one of the first times we've ever had a fully extraterrestrial object just like swoop through. Like, that's incredibly rare. Normally, everything kind of sticks to its own current, if you will. It's kind of like the fish in the lake stay in the lake. It's kind of weird for them to hop out and go between lakes, right? When it comes to universes or like the Milky Way and then other galaxies. Um, the object that they're referring to, we've mentioned on past episodes. I should have memorized by now as a boring ass name. I'm just gonna call it the alien spacecraft that's gonna kill us all. That's the full title. Um, the paper that's being referred to here was entirely speculative. It was put out as just a hypothesis piece. With that said, because there's a lot of talk about this, it should be coming in on October 31st, Halloween, right? That's the current estimate of when it's going to be closest to Earth. Um, it's up to the point of being, by some scientists, you know, 5 out of what is it? 4 out of 10 dentists agree you should use Colgate or whatever. Well, uh, that one dentist that doesn't agree with this, in terms of astrophysicists, um, is putting the number up at 40% that this might be an alien spacecraft. It's coming at us, I believe, just below the speed of light. Don't quote me on that. It's coming insanely fast. And apparently, there's been recordings or at least assumptions based off of images taken from space, because it's still really far away. You got to think, if something's moving 300 and something thousand miles an hour, even a video is just like frame by frame of like how close it is. It's like frame one, frame two, 40,000 miles away. It's moving very fucking fast, right? There's been calculations done of the object doing extreme maneuvers, right? There's a lot of shit that goes with that. There's a lot of hype that's being put out there, but it's kind of like, this object moving at 300,000 miles just made a right hand like angled turn. That's not a thing on the orbit of an object, right? Just being like whoop, whoop, whoop. Like that, it's a little alarming. With that said, when you have an object that's moving that fast across interstellar distances, you don't know how the gravitational pull of planets, you don't know how the gravitational pull of black holes, especially, are affecting our perception of that. Because when you have a black hole that exists in the universe and then you have a planet that's behind it, light bends around that black hole and it gives a warping effect. So when something's moving past those things, it might make it appear like it's doing shit that it's not actually doing. And I went to school for songwriting and music production. Please don't take my understanding of science as fact, y'all.
All I know is if they're going to invade, they need to go ahead and do it.
I think everybody's kind of on that.
Just get it over
We are
with.
here, and we have delivered the most destructive thing possible. This is the Epstein files. We are releasing them on Yahoo News Network. Yes, it is as bad as you thought. Submit to us.
We're just like, thank you. Finally, politicians we can believe in.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
What
Oh,
did they do? What did they just showed up and it's like,
Yes, the CIA did kill JFK. Epstein did hang himself.
and we're just like, thank you, alien overlords,
right.
with your advanced technology.
Oh,
Here
that's
is a
pretty
magical
wild.
ring where you have access to unlimited hot pockets that won't cause increased cholesterol and high blood pressure. We're like, fucking sign me up for servitude. Let's go.
Oh,
Well, here's a dark one here. Scientists propose using Earth's shadow to search for extraterrestrials. A novel approach to the search for extraterrestrial life was proposed on August 14th, today, 2025, by an international team of scientists utilizing Earth's shadow as a natural filter to detect potential alien probes. Published in the journal Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, which, like, who hasn't heard this news yet? The study describes an innovative method to overcome the interference caused by thousands of satellites and millions of pieces of space debris currently cluttering Earth's orbit. The Earth casts a cone shaped shadow into space, creating, quote, a clean search area where direct sunlight cannot reflect off man made satellites or debris. The researchers hypothesize that any bright flashes or streaks detected within this shadow, especially if they lack optical light sources typically of human satellites, could indicate something more exotic, such as extraterrestrial artifacts. Team analyzed over 200,000 images from the Zwicky Transient Facility ZTF telescope, focusing on those contained in Earth's shadow. While most candidates were identified as meteors, aircraft, or known asteroids, one intriguing, unclassified object was detected moving much faster than typical asteroids and was not found in any existing database, though its nature remains a mystery. This innovative proposal demonstrates a creative adaptation of scientific methodology to address the challenges of space observation in an increasingly crowded orbital environment. The use of Earth's shadow as a natural, quote, filter illustrates a clever extraterrestrial, illustrates a clever solution to a complex problem, potentially opening new avenues for detecting elusive extraterrestrial artifacts. This approach highlights the evolving sophistication in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, moving beyond traditional radio and optical scans to more nuanced observational techniques. It reflects a growing determination within the scientific community to leverage every available natural and technological advantage in the pursuit of answering one of humanity's most profound questions. And I want to throw it up to the chat. Does anybody in this chat honestly think extraterrestrials don't exist? And when I say extraterrestrials, I want to clarify here. I'm not talking about some fucking fungus on another planet. I'm talking about intelligent beings that could be communicated with. Does anybody in the chat not think that they exist? Now, the argument might begin at, have they come here? Have we had contact? That's fine. That's fine. Does anybody in the chat actually think we're the only thing in the universe? I mean, are we really just listening to an infinite loop of like the Smiths and Morrissey singing into the universe? That's some sad shit. I'd still listen to it though. D-Boos, where are you at with it? While we're waiting for the chat to respond.
Well, I don't think there's any possible way we're the only intelligent beings in the universe. And what they are, they could be an exact replica of us. They could be little green fucking men. I don't know, but we can't be the only intelligent beings in this universe. There's no possible way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. Chat, we're waiting for you to respond. Somebody hop in there. We'll just keep stalling. We're relentless. Open to their existence. Stupid the cat, you said open to their existence. The right still wouldn't be convinced. I disagree. I disagree. And actually, the next article is going to approach that, Doobie. Open to their existence. Open to their existence. I'm pushing back, Doobie. You know I love you, sir. I'm pushing back. Do you believe life exists externally from the planet Earth that is intelligent? That's what I'm pushing you for. I want to hear y'all's thoughts on that. Yes, Laura, I am 100% with you. I think the odds are in your favor. I mean, look at it this way. You got two main arguments on the spectrum of kind of approaches to things. You got the religious, right? And then you have the scientific, right? And people, obviously lines get blurred there, and are they the same, and whatever. Anyways, from the evolutionary standpoint, if the exact same thing that happened here with the primordial ooze and coming out of the ground, if it started 100 years before it happened here with evolution, they would be 100 years potentially more advanced than we are right now, which, take a Lamborghini, drop it in Brooklyn in, the 1800s, 1900s, or drop it on, Broadway in the 1900s, and people will be like, oh my God, it's alien technology. This is insane. This is wild. And it's only 100 years more advanced, right? So that's the evolutionary standpoint in my mind. From the religious standpoint, I think it was, oh shucks, I think it was Pat Robertson, one of these uh, kind of shit evangelicals. But Pat Robertson said, and I don't agree with him on literally anything, but I think he has one of the best quotes in terms of Christianity and the approach to life in another planet. He said, "You think this is the best that God could do?" When somebody asked if alien life exists. I'm never gonna forget. He's like, you think this is the best God could do? That was his fucking answer. And I'm like, you know what? All right. That was a solid fucking answer. Yes, Laura, the 1900s. We are that old. We need to talk to the future because we're already the past. We're going to be oil soon. Be oil.
Oh man.
Not without evidence. Odds are that over 14 billion years, other life could have come and gone or might be behind us. Don't know. I have nothing to base believing they're real on. Shrug. All right, thank you, Doobie. I appreciate that. That's solid. That's a solid answer. I'm looking at it as a numbers game. It's just a numbers game. When you stop and you think about the fact that every single star that you see up in the sky has an entire galaxy around it. That's a sun like our sun with planets orbiting around it. And then you try to look at the process of like, well, are there planets in the Goldilocks zone? Likely somewhere, just within what we see. That's not even counting all the planets we can't see, right? Or the stars we can't see. So there's a Goldilocks zone where you could have a place like Earth. Okay. Well, what are the odds that things kicked off there the same way? Even if it's 1 in 100 trillion, there's 400 quadrillion trillion planets out there. So again, it comes down to a numbers game with me. And when you look at the expansion of the universe from like the time of the if you want to go to this point of the Big Bang of everything kind of starting off, we all kind of have this equal point of like when shit kicked off, which kind of, in my mind, determines it's kind of highly likely that life would exist around the same time within a few 100,000 years. So I don't know, but I appreciate what you're saying, Doobie. I think that's similar to. I thought Kabu said something similar to this. She probably did. Well, we're moving on. And this is right back at you, Doobie. Magaloya. Magaloya. Um, MAGA lawmaker claims Congress has seen proof of interdimensional beings. Anybody else that kind of keeps up with Joe Rogan? Yes, he's a shitbag, but he has good guests. On August 14th, today, Florida Republican Rep. Anna Paulina Luna made a striking claim on a podcast, asserting that Congress has seen proof of, quote, interdimensional beings. The statement made by a sitting U.S. lawmaker adds a new and highly speculative dimension to the ongoing public and governmental discussion surrounding UAPs. The assertion of, quote, interdimensional beings goes beyond the conventional, quote, alien spacecraft narrative, introducing a concept that challenges fundamental understandings of physics and reality. Coming from a political figure privy to classified briefings, such a claim, regardless of its veracity, can significantly influence public perception and fuel further speculation about the nature of UAPs. This public declaration by a political figure introduces an extraordinary hypothesis into the mainstream UAP discourse, pushing the boundaries of what is being discussed at official levels. The shift from unidentified objects to, quote, interdimensional beings represents a significant conceptual leap, indicating that some officials may be considering explanations that transcend conventional scientific frameworks. This suggests a potential for the UAP narrative to evolve into more complex and philosophically challenging territories, influencing public imagination and potentially shaping future governmental approaches to these phenomena. Now, this is nothing new, the interdimensional aspect, and I would almost argue that, oh boy, going back to Project Sign, Project Grudge, and then Project Blue Book. I mean, fuck, by the time you got to Project Grudge, that would be at the end of Project Sign. This goes back to the 40s, 50s, 60s, 100%, at least in terms of the US's approach to studying UFOs, now referred to as UAPs. Um, there's always been this issue with Einstein, of Einstein always saying that nothing can go faster than the speed of light. And then we look up at a star and we say, okay, so 1 light year, which is the distance that can be traveled in 1 year, if you were going as fast as light, that planet is 100,000 light years away. So if you were traveling at the speed of light for 100,000 years, that's how long it would take you. Pretty goddamn fast, right? Um, that opened up theories of wormholes, of kind of like, a very famous metaphor of bending it and puncturing a hole through time and space and ending up in another thing. The that is the main one of the main theories around like how aliens would travel here, is they're able to bend the fabric of time and space and puncture through it, pop out on the other side, right? So in a sense, it's always been interdimensional. I think that the public narrative is finally catching up to it. It's kind of like in the 90s and the early 2000s, people finally became aware of like Area 51 and the folklore around it, right? And before that, in the 80s and the 70s, people became aware of like Roswell as a topic. Now the general public is kind of just picking up on like interdimensional. What the fuck is that? It's like, well, Jesus. Jesus is fucking interdimensional. That's a good way to put it. D-Boos, what do you think, bud?
I'm sure the government has something that they're not sharing with people.
Yeah.
And when it comes out, it's gonna like, I don't know. I think it's gonna blow some people's minds. I think it's gonna cause hysteria in a way. And I don't know. I just hope I'm here for it because it's going to be a mindfuck.
Yeah, it'll be a good day. Do you think we'll be able to get off work that day?
Hopefully.
I think so too. Well, Michigan reports mass grouping of high-altitude reflective objects. Reports from Michigan in 2025 detailing ongoing UAP activity, including a, quote, mass grouping of high-altitude random pattern reflective objects. Dozens. Witnesses described these objects as moving north at extremely high altitude, captured on video with no visible aircraft, sound, or sign of propulsion. The original sightings of these objects was described as a, quote, mass clustering that began to drift. So picture a massive group of just random ass fucking objects. You got refrigerators, you got cows, you got nanas, book covers, everything. Just like light speed moving across the fucking sky. I mean, they weren't Nana's book coverings, but you know what I mean. Well, while some sightings in Michigan for 2025 are suspected to be drones, the specific description of a, quote, mass grouping of reflective high altitude objects without conventional propulsion characteristics points to a more unusual phenomenon. The lack of sound and the high altitude further contribute to the mysterious nature of these reports. This ongoing pattern of UAP sightings, particularly those involving multiple objects exhibiting unusual flight characteristics, underscores the persistent nature of unexplained aerial phenomenon. Difficulty in attributing these sightings to known objects, even with video evidence, highlights the challenges inherent in UAP investigation. The continuous reporting of such events, alongside the acknowledgement of potential misidentification, e.g., drones, points to a complex observational landscape where genuine anomalies may coexist with conventional explanation, maintaining public intrigue and the need for continued scrutiny. Basically, we don't fucking know, but it probably fucking happened. Now, we're moving into our last segment here. So again, anybody, please, if you're watching this, please give us a thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And when you click subscribe, there's gonna be a little bell icon. If you click that, you'll get notifications about upcoming videos in the future. You don't even have to worry about it. It'll just pop up on your phone and be like, hey, Beer Booze and Boogeyman, another paranormal happy hour. And you're gonna be like, shit, I wasn't doing anything tonight. That sounds fun. So just saying, that's how you do it. Moving on to one of my favorites, cryptids, baby. Bigfoot's brown cousin. Utah hikers spot forest walker. Forest walker, Texas Ranger. Forest walker, Utah Ranger. Oh my god. I need this show. On July 30th, 2025, reports emerged from the Utah Wistach-Kachi National Forest in Utah, of course. Why did I put that? Of hikers spotting a, quote, forest walker, Texas Ranger, described as Bigfoot's, quote, brown cousin. This AI wrote some very racist sounding words here. This sighting falls under the category of cryptid humanoid encounters, suggesting the presence of an unknown bipedal creature in the alpine woods of Utah. The description of a, quote, forest walker as a, quote, brown cousin. God damn it. I'm not reading that anymore. I'm not reading. Um, to Bigfoot implies a similar yet distinct cryptid, adding a new variant to the rich tapestry of North American humanoid legends. Such reports, while anecdotal, contribute to the ongoing narrative of hominoids inhabiting remote wilderness areas. God damn the tongue ties. And this sighting, like many crypto reports, thrives on the combination of human exploration into wild spaces and the enduring appeal of the unknown. The specific cousin nomenclature suggests an attempt to categorize and contextualize the new sighting within existing cryptid lore. 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 Illustrating how new observations are often interpreted through the lens of establishing myths. Gil, next time, do not drink tall boys that are over 9% while reading this show. This reinforces the idea that cryptid sightings are not merely isolated incidents, but part of a larger evolving cultural narrative that reflects humanity's deep seated fascination with the wild and possibly the undiscovered worlds of new species.
So it's a new
Go
Bigfoot. That's the exact same color.
Yeah, but I don't. There's something that made me feel icky. I'll fucking say it. There's something that made me feel icky about constantly referring to it as his brown cousin. I'm just like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe I'm the only one here that's grown up in more let's just be real. Debo's, you're literally family. You know what I'm saying? We've grown up in more rednecky type of situations where sometimes at family get-togethers, when you're seeing that family you don't hang out with much, they might use phrasing like this. And that phrasing has a very specific meaning, and I don't
Yeah.
fucking like it. D-Boos, I know
Right.
you don't like it either, bro. Yeah, so we're just not gonna refer to it as that way. We'll just call it the Forest Walker, which is a cool ass fucking name. But
Forest
not
Walker, Utah Ranger. That's our next T-shirt.
Forest Walker Ranger. Yes, Forest Walker Utah Ranger. The other one is no, just no. We're not gonna hashtag that. We're not gonna hashtag that. I'm cancel culturing this cryptid. All right, that's what's happening. Well, has anybody else heard of the Forest Walker? K-Boos, if you're still in the chat, I know you're probably busy running around doing things. If you're still in the chat, have you heard of Bigfoot being called a Forest Walker? I'm gonna be honest, that's the first time I've ever heard that phrase. I've never heard Bigfoot being called a Forest Walker.
Yeah, I've never heard that either.
This next one, let me see if I got this pulled up here. D-Boos, you went through, you found so many awesome links and stuff, and I just haven't been using them. I'm sorry, bud. We're waiting for the chat to kind of pop in reply. Yeah, all that happens in Texas. You don't have to be a redneck. Yeah, yo, do you see why I'm reading through these synopsises and I'm just kind of like I'm increasingly uncomfortable with reading this. I'd be uncomfortable live. Never what? First time for K-Boos. That's interesting. Let me see here. All right. We got a fun one here. There's got to be a better. Whoa, that is trippy. How did they get emojis in there? URL. All right, moving back. We've got. I don't want to cover Loch Ness Monster. Does anybody show up to the show for Loch Ness Monster updates? For some reason, every time I run these scans of the internet, which we never shared this with you before, if you couldn't tell, and cheers to us if you couldn't, but it's the truth. So I spent a very long time, many hours, coming up with a complex command for AI. Yeah, the question's coming up, Laura. A complex command for an AI search engine to scour the internet, specifically not just North America and not just English speaking So there's all these phrases and terms and things like that. And try to like scour the world and give it a set of dates. And I'm like, find the weirdest fucking news articles, find UAP news, find paranormal news, and find odd news, right? Cryptid news, things like that. I give it these 4 categories, and I'm like, scour the internet, find shit during this time range, translate it, bring it back to me. And that's kind of how we put this together. So, and I hope y'all enjoy it. I know I fucking enjoy it. But where was I going with that? Lord knows. Moving on away from Bigfoot's brown cousin. Sometimes the phrasing gets a little fucked up. And I liked what you said, D-Boo's like Bigfoot was already brown. Whatever. We're moving on. Nessie, not so much. Thank you. Yeah, for yes. Yeah, the question was, for whatever reason, it keeps wanting to give me Nessie updates. No offense, not a fan. Even if Nessie turns out to be real, I'm just gonna be like, I don't really care. Sorry. Nightcrawler sightings surge. California. Cryptids buzz again. July 30th, 2025, the Fresno and Yosemite region of California reported a night crawler surge, indicating renewed activity of a regional cryptid. Described as a regional legend, the Nightcrawler is a cryptid that has reportedly, quote, buzzed again in the area, suggesting a reemergence or increased frequency of sightings. Thanks to D-Booz, I'm going to pull up a animated image. This isn't the one I'm familiar with. I'm going to be honest. So, looking like this. Like the State Puff Marshmallow on the keto diet. That's basically what we got here.
Oh.
The term nightcrawler typically refers to a bipedal, white, worm-like cryptid, and its surge implies a heightened period of activity or visibility. This type of regional cryptid often becomes deeply embedded in local folklore, drawing both curiosity and apprehension from residents. The resurgence of activity for a regional cryptid like the Nightcrawler demonstrates the persistent nature of local legends and their ability to re enter public consciousness. Such events often occur in areas with unique geographical features or a history of mysterious phenomenon, suggesting that the landscape itself can foster and perpetuate these narratives. This highlights how certain locals or locales become focal points for cryptid activity, creating an ongoing dialogue between reported observations and established regional folklore, keeping the mystery alive for generations. That's all boring shit. I'm going to pull up an actual video of the Fresno Nightcrawler because it's fucking weird. You ever see white ghost pants just walking along through somebody's yard? That's the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I'd shit a little bit.
In you shouldn't shit in white pants, buddy. I mean, you shouldn't. Let's see. Let's look for the original. You can't throw the shit up from 20. Okay. Is this it? I'm gonna check before I show it. I don't want Reba McEntire fucking things up again. Oh my god. All right, give me just a moment. D-Booz, distract the audience, please.
Well, while he's researching a little bit, I'll just go ahead and talk about our next full episode of Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman. Will be on September 3rd. We're doing it in the middle of the week again, same time as last month. I think we did what, 5:30, 7:30, 8:30. I think that's what it was. And this time we are talking
9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Fuck Mountain Time, and whatever the hours are for Pacific. Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You're smart. You're cool. You're already subscribed, so you don't have to worry about the notification.
Right. But September 3rd, we were talking near-death experiences, and we're tossing in a little bit of superstitions as well. So I think it's going to be fun.
Yes, I think it'll be cool as shit. I'm gonna push superstitions because I don't know how many folks that are gonna. I'm being a Debbie Dowder. I don't know how many folks are going to come across near-death experiences. I'm doubtful how many near-death experiences we're gonna have, but I hope so.
We've
But
already
I
got
think
one
we all have
incredible story.
superstitions. We got one. Okay. Let's pull this up here. Y'all, this is the Fresno Nightcrawler video that kind of sparked this cryptid's entrance into the cryptid world, I guess. It's fucking weird. It's blurry. Don't get surprised, okay? I don't know if anybody's surprised. Hold on. Let me pull it back. Do it again. It looks like a pair of pants with a head. Just walking across somebody's field. That is the cryptid. That is the Fresno Nightcrawler. This is what it looks like. It's just I don't know. That's it. That's it, you guys. Not an exciting origin story. Sorry to tell you.
It's just
But
wild what it is.
it's weird. I definitely did that with what's the word I'm looking for? Sweatpants when I was like a little kid, maybe even now as an adult. I'm just like and just like walking. I could see a little kid doing this. And like honestly, if that was me and I started some shit, I wouldn't tell anybody. I'd take that shit to my grave.
Right?
Take that
Or
to my fucking grave.
right.
That's just me. Well, Debo's like you said, we got beer, booze, and boogeyman coming up next month. Near death experiences. Have you died? We want to hear about it. And superstitions. And I'm going to throw this out there to kind of get people's minds jogging. If you're a member of the Black Cat Report Patreon, you already know I threw this up as a question in the earlier part of the month. You still have time to respond to it. And I would love to honestly hear about this. I'm convinced, I swear to God, I think most folks have this weird we have these weird quirks where you're like, if this happens, it equals this. It might be the dumbest fucking thing. I think that like human brains are so patterned towards, or they're so geared towards recognizing patterns. I think we can't really help it, and I think that the numbers kind of add up in a certain way so that even if we don't necessarily recognize it as a superstition, there's a damn good chance. Laura hates it. High-waisted pants, man. Fucking shit. Oh, Laura. No, but I think there's a damn good chance that there's something like for me, back when I used to drive to work on a regular basis, I would constantly like something would feel off. Eh, eh. Something would feel off on the mornings where like I'd be driving to work and I wouldn't hit any red lights. And I'd be running late. Like if I'm running late and I know I'm intentionally like I'm like fuck, and I'm driving and I just don't hit any red lights. It's all green. No traffic. Everything's fine. I get nervous. I get nervous about that shit. I'm like, something's gonna happen. This is too easy. There's some bullshit going on here. This is like, like maybe I'm the only one. But it's just things like that. I know my mom had this belief. I have no idea where the hell it came from, but if you put shoes on the table, right, which sounds weird, but think about it. You come home from shopping, you just bought some shoes along with the rest of your, you went to Target or whatever, right? You went to the mall and you set all the boxes on the table. If you put shoes on the table, right, then the heads of the household, the wife and husband, are going to get into an argument. I don't know. That was a superstition I grew up with. If anybody else has heard that, I would love to hear your take on it. But that was 100% like a thing. And it was also really funny to watch my mom intentionally start an argument because of this superstition. And every time she's like, why would you do this? You know what it's going to do. My dad being like, I'm so sorry. Just like, no. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're making this real right now. But that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know. But we'd love to hear your superstitions. Throw them up there. We'll dig in. We just want to hear what keeps y'all weird. So
Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
And hopefully next week, Joey and Crispin will be back on Paranormal Happy Hour.
Nah, fuck that. You guys love us more. We're taking over. We're fucking taking over. And one of these days, I'm gonna figure out the microphone.
Yeah, because I'm free every day next week because I'm on vacation. So if we have to do it again, I'm free any day.
Staycation, baby.
For Tuesday.
Yes. Well. Right. Well, we love you guys as always. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Please remember, like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. You know all the things. Just thank y'all for showing up. We appreciate it. Let us know what this show needs. Let us know what you cringe at the most. Let us know the types of stories that you appreciated the most. Just throw it into the chat. Throw it into the comments. It does help the show grow. It helps the channel grow, and we really appreciate it.
Yep.
That's all I got to say is we love y'all.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
Have a good night.
Bye.